Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, the largest international curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you decided to join us to watch some of the top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the Branch Director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Wait patiently. Where are you based, Connor?
I'm in Minnesota.
Yeah, which part? Meiji?
No, I'm in the cities. I'm in Minneapolis.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Just been there once, played in Curling Night in America a few years ago. Blaine, it was fun.
Yeah, no, it's I work at the Blaine Curling Club as well, so
Nice.
spend a lot of time there. I think we're
Welcome to Swift Current. Future game. Kayla Skrlik and Tabitha Peterson of the USA. Skrlik throwing the red stones. Tab Peterson with hammer here in the first, throwing the yellow stones. Skrlik 2-1 coming into this game. Teams divided into 5 pools of 5. Peterson's team coming into this one 0-2. We are in Swift Current, the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Shootout, Showdown, between Kayla Skrlik and Tab Peterson. Tab Peterson playing the Yellowstones. His last rock here in the first end. Tram with the nose hit. Pretty tidy and open first end. Shot safely removed. Very up and down first end. So trending towards a blank. Lining up the outturn hit. Nose hit. Sticks around. And Pat Peterson hit down to the hack with blank on her mind. A pretty straightforward up and down first end. Stone of the first end on its way for Tab Peterson. Looking to blank. Will that get out of the rings? Is it going to spin back? No, hard to say. Our overhead shot, they're taking a look at it. And they kick it off. So there's one end of the books. Skrlik versus Peterson. From Swift Current. We'll be back shortly with the second end. Welcome back to Swift Current. Hans Roundlob here along with Connor Kaufman. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, thank you, Hans. I'm happy to be here. Excited to get started. I love doing the commentary for these events, so really glad I'm able to do it this weekend.
Tab Peterson attempted blank the first, but just clinged on to the edge of the 12-foot. She got a point she didn't want. Kayla Skrlik ends up getting the unexpected cheap force. She will take the hammer here into end number 2. Skrlik playing three-handed in this game. Try to get some information for you. One of their players has suffered an injury. They are starting the game playing with 3. Put a quarter around that center guard. Becca Hamilton We'll give it a chase. Makes contact, skills to the wing and hangs around. Nice shot. Connor, we were talking just before we came on air. Last season, Becca was playing at 2, playing at lead in this game. Small shift in the lineup here for Tab Peterson.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the reasoning behind that is. I'm sure they have a very good reason, of course. They're a very good team. But they've been playing pretty well all season, so it seems to have been working for them.
Well, these top-level teams like Tab Peterson, every player in the lineup's got the full range of shots. And sometimes just a small change in the playing order for, as you say, probably a very, very good reason.
For sure. Like you said, everyone at this level can make all the shots, so it's less about trying to hide a player in a specific spot and more just where's the lineup going to play the best and mesh the best. So obviously they feel this lineup gives them the best chance to win games, and it's hard to argue with it when you watch how they played all year.
Peterson on the delivery. Removes the Skrlik stone and leaves herself sitting nearly full in the 8-foot. Keeping the play away from the guard. Going to make it hard for Kayla to use it. Looking for a cross-house hit and roll. You have to roll it about 5 feet to get cover. It's going to probably go behind the tee line as well.
Agreed. I don't think they necessarily want to roll directly behind this guard here.
Not the roll. Take it over, biting a bit of the button. Goes up the house a little bit. But it is open and available for Tab Peterson. Very short roll here for Tab to get cover. Gonna hide maybe half. Pretty good shot.
Very good shot. At least puts that that guard in the face of the person throwing this next rock here. So, especially early in the game, in the second end, you might not be super comfortable with knowing exactly what the ice is doing. So I think that could be one of the reasons we see Skrlik throwing the tap here instead of trying to hit and roll out to the wings.
Ashton Skrlik whopping the sides. The one brusher. So she's having to take on double duty.
And I know from experience, not a ton of experience, but from experience, that is never a fun thing to have to do. It's a lot of work. It's really difficult to judge weight that way because you can't look up as often. So props to anybody who can do that effectively.
Good point, Connor. Most sweepers are accustomed to sweeping from one side or the other of the rock, but having to pivot around in the way that Ashton has to do now. It's a big, tough ask. Fractionally heavy, just grazing the Peterson shot, pushing it fully behind cover, spilling over into the open. So excellent chance now for Tab Peterson to really set up a force and maybe a steal.
Most definitely. If you can keep these rocks in a spot that there's no easy double, you got a good chance at getting a force on here.
Corey Casey. Gonna be just off nose. Slightly forward of the rock behind the guard, so possible makeable double here for Team Skrlik. Only has to bet him about 2/3 with some heat. Trying to hold the line. Is it going to over curl? Yes, it goes underneath. Tabitha Peterson dodges a bullet. And now it's green light go for Team Peterson.
Yeah, we were talking force earlier, but with that, you're maybe looking at steal now. You got a good center guard up, another rock that's good top 4 foot. If you put this one in a good spot, Skrlik's going to have her work cut out for her, trying to get those removed and get herself a chance even to hit the button for one.
A good early opportunity for Team Peterson to turn up the heat. In the second end, we're in swift current.
She can make a good guard here. Again, like we talked about, it really puts quite a bit of pressure on Skrlik to make a tough draw early for their 1 point.
It's all about the line. Going to keep that rock moving, get as much cover as they can. Right about 2/3 of the front stone. I would love that to curl another inch or so, Connor.
For sure. Not perfect. However, I feel like they got the correct side of it. You don't want to give her that right side and give her the potential double and roll behind their corner yard. At least this way, if they make the hit and roll that they called for, you're still sitting shot rock, and you can either draw to the top 4 again, or if they're open, you can just hit them and give them a force or maybe a blank.
Very good point. Covering the pro side. Kayla Skrlik settles in. Skrlik coming into this game 2-1. Wins over Robin Silvernagel and Michelle Yegi. And a loss to cut Kiki Fujisawa. Got some contact, moves both of the yellows, pushes the red out to the wing. And pushes, well, is that one in the back 12 still biting? Might be.
Yeah, it ended up being a pretty okay shot. They were sweeping that pretty hard. I think they probably went to plan B early. They thought they might have been a little wide, try to get the roll off that back one instead of the top one. And it worked out okay for him. You push that yellow rock, to the T line, you keep your red one around. Tab's got to be a little bit careful if she wants to throw the draw here, that she doesn't leave you a makeable double to somehow score a deuce.
Decision time here for Tab Peterson. Happy with the force. You could just bang the one on the wing, but looking for a little bit better than that. Two stones to come here in the second end. Peterson attempted to blank the first, but spun and just caught a piece of the ring. Skrlik with the hammer here in the second.
Pretty close here.
No, it's not going to sit high in the ring, so now they're just switching gears and going to take it out of the 4-foot and back into the back 8. Probably not plan A, but it certainly locks in the force.
Exactly. Not the worst miss, but you'd feel really dumb if you go light, over curl, leave him an open hit for 2. So making sure you secure the force is always important.
Not a gimme for Kayla. It is an open hit, but that second shot lurking in the back of the 8-foot, so not too much room to roll around. Last stone of end number 2 is on its way for Kayla Skrlik. Pretty happy with it. No problem there. Squarely on the nose. Hangs around perfect and single point. And they're tied at 1.
Your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back to Swift Current. Future game, Kayla Skrlik versus Tabitha Peterson. 2 runs are in the books. We're tied at 1. Hans Fromm on here along with Connor Kaufman. Force for force in the early going, Connor. Teams kind of feeling each other out a little bit by the feel of it.
Yeah, most definitely. It's been a pretty standard game, I'd say, so far. Played a pretty open first, got a little bit unlucky with not quite rolling out. And then a good setup in the second by Peterson. And again, a little unlucky coming deep on that last draw tabs, but he still ended up with a force and got hammered tied in the third. You made it through the first 2 ends and the score's close and you're in a good spot. So you're always pretty happy about that.
Ashton Skrlik. Team Skrlik playing with 3 in today's game. Not entirely sure what's befell Brittany Tran. We'll try to find out for you. Team Skrlik playing 3-handed in this game. One comes up, biting half of the front 12 foot. Pretty good line. But overlapping those center guards now.
You know, Hans, this is a strategy that I've really seen kind of take off in the last year or so that I really enjoy. We talk about back quad sometimes as the first rock of an end when you have hammer. But I've seen a number of teams this season play their first rock with hammer under that center guard, let the team without play the freeze, and then they go back quad afterwards, especially in a situation like this where you can sit 2. It really puts some pressure on the other team to decide, hey, are we going to leave that rock? And it's not in a good position for us. They're sitting 2.
Yeah. You really put the pressure on the opposition when you're making them look at multiples and you haven't got the hammer, and it gets a bit nervy pretty early.
Most definitely. And we see here Skrlik elects to hit and roll to the center, but again, kind of like what I was saying, if she makes this roll good, she's still not shot. She's back 8 foot. It's not a great rock positionally for her, but she can't just leave it the yellow one there because then she lets Tab sit 2.
Have to ignore points. Potential points at least. Big roll across the rings, and that one is going to go pull back 12. Just hang around. Once more to the well for Tab Peterson. Off the Going again.
Worked so well the first time, you might as well do it again, right?
Exactly. Keep going to it until your opponent shows that they can't deal with it. They can deal with it better than they did the last time. Once again, looking to take it deep in the rings. That's a pretty nice shot. Just past tee. A little bit further forward this time for Kayla Skrlik. So a better chance to roll underneath and get something good to happen.
Definitely, and props to the sweepers for Team Peterson there. It can be tough to really put that rock in a good spot behind the tee line. You got to be behind the tee line. If you sweep it too far, the other skip can come in and really pull it a distance past. So that's not an easy sweep to get it right in that spot 2 times in a row.
Now, speaking of a good spot, Jerry-Lynn Ramsey with a terrific hit and roll. Ducks it underneath. Half covered. Corner of it is available for Tab Peterson. Got a very nice hit and roll there from Jerry-Lynn. Tab wouldn't have to move that red rock very far to lie 2. She does seem a little bit concerned now by those center guards.
And rightfully so. You never want too many center guards up when you have hammer, especially when you're not really trying hard for points. You can't help but wonder if she's got enough of that red in the rings that she could throw some sort of board weight at it and hit it and roll kind of back to that back quad spot she was throwing the draws to.
I don't disagree.
Important shot in this end though, so I'm okay with Tara going down there and talking about it. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Make sure we know what's our goal in this end and how's our shot gonna help us get towards our goal.
One thing about bringing the front stones, Connor, I just never like making a shot for my opponent. And that's some risk that they take on by clearing here, but keeping it tidy.
Yeah, my number one worry with this is if you end up making this double peel with the turn that they're throwing, I'm a little worried that that second red's going right back into the yellow you have top forefoot. Red's going to be sitting 2 in the forefoot.
Exactly.
You don't love how that looks.
No, that's exactly my concern. Just peels 1. So again, showing the side of the Yellowstone that you'd want to show if you're Tab Peterson, because it is an angle to jam in the back 4. I didn't turn aside.
Yeah, peeling that single guard might have almost been better for him than trying to get both and potentially jamming.
I think so too. All kinds of bad could have happened on the double clear. After that very nice hit and roll, Jerry-Lynn changing gears now. Looking to whip one around. Master and Skrlik working hard. Hard work pays off. That is a pistol. Fighting the front button.
Beautifully swept rock. You see Tab looking at the triple.
Triple is there. Only problem is you make the triple, you're only going to be lying 1. Red counter at the back, and I don't think the delivered stone would squirt onto the rings.
I would agree. My first thought was maybe playing something on that yellow you have top forefoot, down weight, just kind of pop that red out of the top 4 a little bit. But if you make this, you're in a pretty good spot.
Well, Corey drives it onto her own. And that is bad news for Team Peterson. Leave 2 red behind cover. Now Kayla Skrlik says, well, stack them up.
Most definitely. And I think this is a really smart call going with the guard here. You see a lot of teams, especially teams that are newer onto the scene, being like, oh, I got an opportunity, I want more points, and they try to put another one in the rings, forgetting that, hey, that yellow rock is very easy to run back. So I really like the high guard here.
Jerlyn Ramsey quickly out of her delivery. Again, this team playing with 3 in this game, and now Kayla Skrlik comes out. It's all hands on deck. They think this one's light. Let's get it across the hog line, of course, to be in play. I don't think they're going to do it. Nope. After 2 beauties. That was quite ugly, unfortunately, for Jerlyn Ramsey. We'll get out a jail card for Tab Peterson.
Yep, every once in a while you try to be so close to that hog line that you just pull the string just a bit, and as you said, she knew it right when she let go.
Yeah, she was out of her slide, it seemed almost before she let it go. Jump up to help the sweep. So a shot at redemption here for Corey Teesey. And on her first one, looking to play the run back. It's close. Stuffs the red, removes 1 at least, rolls away. There's still something going here for Kayla Skrlik. Good opportunity now as we get late in the end. Skip rocks to come here in the third. We're tied at 1. Skrlik comes out to tidy things up along the slide path. She knows this is an important opportunity, trying to take care of any debris at all down the slide path as Kayla steps into the hack. Where's position A, do you think, here, Connor? Front 4?
I couldn't tell if they called for top 4 or for top 12, actually. I think top 4 is what they decided on, but don't quote me on it.
All right, well, we're going to find out in a few seconds. This one's away from Kayla Skrlik. He jumps out to help sweep, so they think it may be a bit light again. I'm liking the way better now. It's going to be flirting with that front stone, though. Just graze it, redirect, and they grab a bonus bite of the front 12. So maybe not what Plan A was asked for, but it was pretty effective at the end of the whole exercise. They're by 3.
Yeah, something I say on my team quite a bit is good enough. That's one of those.
Exactly.
It's
not
exactly
how you get there, it's the fact that you're there at all, right?
Exactly. It's not exactly what you called, but hey, it's good enough. It does the job. We're all happy at the end of the day.
By biting half of that front 12-foot, creates a real dilemma now for Tab Peterson. You could bang that front stone, run off the double, but you're basically conceding 2 if you do that. Unless you get some kind of action across the top, ping that back stone off and make a triple. That's pretty hard to line up.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know if I haven't seen anyone signal for it. I'd be curious to know if anyone's talked about the draw or a softer weight run on the yellow. Something that an old coach said to me tons of times, John Benton, a lot of people will probably know him, is if you're going to get forced anyways, you might as well try to score 2. And I've used that for a number of years now.
Yeah, that's good advice. Can't think of anything better to do, get one in there.
Obviously, it can be scary, but like you said, by playing this double, you give Skrlik a basically free draw to the 4-foot under your yellow, and then you're just drawing the button for 1 anyways.
Exactly. But judging by the brush position, I don't know. Doesn't look like they're going to try the double. We'll find out in a minute. Yep, it is the up-weight shot for Tab Peterson. I'd like to save the shooter and maybe spill it on the rings. You know, just tips it off and opens it up. And so now it's absolutely green light go for Kayla Skrlik. Right there, right where you got your brush. Half around the yellow, fighting the front four. Tab will not have an awful lot on her last. It was a little light and a little narrow on her first one. Let's see if she can make the adjustment here on her final shot of the third end.
Second rock she's gotten to throw in this spot. She's already seen a couple rocks coming down this spot, so I would expect that this is going to be pretty dang close.
Draw attempt on its way for Kayla Skrlik. Mr. Ashton on the brush. And this one has got way more weight and it is tracking straighter. As a result, it's going to be well clear of that guard. Want to get across the face of the shot rock. Do not really want to get to the P line, but that's where they come to rest. Nope, 2 feet heavy, I think, Connor, but pretty good shot. And a tough final shot coming up now for Tab.
Yeah, it's not an easy one for Tab. I couldn't tell if it was our sheet or a sheet next to it, but it sounded like they were going for the line pretty hard early, so that could be part of what swept it a little bit deeper than they might have intended.
Worst case scenario for Kayla Skrlik, you get a force. Best case scenario, you might steal a couple here.
Yeah, this was no gimme, especially with where they ended up. You can run into the side of that top red one a little bit. You don't have the traditional pocket that you would love to see that gives skips an extra kind of sigh of relief whenever they can just throw it right into the pocket a little bit heavy.
Exactly. It's not really a catcher's wall back there, is it? Tab Peterson needs full button to score.
Sweepers have worked this all the way. Took it right out of her hand.
And this one is going to come up short. And is it going to come up short of the rings entirely? Oh my goodness, it is. It's going to be a steal of 3 for Kayla Skrlik. Tab Peterson light on the attempted draw. And as quickly as that, boom. A steal of 3 for Kayla Skrlik. But this team Skrlik, a 4-1 lead after 3 here in Swift Current.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back to Swift Current. You're enjoying the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. We're in the heart of the prairies. Skrlik versus Tabitha Peterson. Skrlik burglaring 3 points as Tabitha Peterson needed to draw a piece of the button but came up short of the rings. And all of a sudden, Skrlik with a 3-point lead as we're playing in the fourth end. Hans Frauenlob here along with Connor Kaufman. No panic time really for Tabitha Peterson, but I'll be thinking a multiple point end is pretty important right now.
For sure, Hans. You don't want to get scared yet. You're still only down 3. If you get a 2 in the fourth, the math still works out good for you. A lot of teams get into that mode. They give up a big end and they're like, ah, shoot. Got to get them back, and that's when you see them give up a steal at 2 in the next end. And that's exactly a mountain that you just can't quite climb. So I think we'll see a corner guard and potentially that second shot going around behind it, but I don't think they're going to play to the rings for too long and let Skrlik build up a ton of rocks on the center line.
Well, that draw shot by Ashton Skrlik certainly took an interesting flight path. Just grazed by the corner guard and then kind of squeaked by the stone in the front of the 4-foot. So gives you an idea of how much late finish there is here in Swift Current.
That's a credit to the ice makers. I know as a player and having talked with a bunch of people, getting the rock to run straight forever and finish late, that is my favorite ice to play on. It's most people's favorite ice to play on because you can just do so much more. And it really requires more skill with ice reading and throwing that weight correctly. Otherwise, that break point is going to be so much different.
And speaking of throwing weight correctly, very nice draw around the corner there. Maybe a piece available. Not much more than a piece. And a shot from Becca Hamilton.
Yep, not enough to make them like going after it, but they come to the center line, whether it's the guard or the freeze.
So Kayla seems content to try and defend the pile. Ashton Skrlik. Jerry Lynn switches, trying to sweep the curl. Skrlik playing with 3 players in this game. Comes to rest. Corner frozen, so there's a cluster of red there in the front of the 4-foot. Any chance that Tab could bang the top one and this goes across the top and just lose them all, Connor?
I think it's possible. I think that, again, you don't want to get too aggressive here, but I do think that Tab could play just a hit and roll under the corner guard off of that top red. Obviously, red would still be sitting shot 2, but if you make it really good, Skrlik's going to make a decision. Do I try to end my 2 points when I'm up 3? Do I peel that corner guard and leave them double and roll away to potentially sit 3? So, a couple of options here.
think I saw Tab just indicating back 8-foot weight for Tara, so it looks like she's just asking Tara to move these ones around a little bit. Wants to save the shooter, obviously. Repositions those red stones. That's not bad. Much easier now for Peterson and her teammates to clear those reds through without jamming on something.
The added benefit to that, too, is that yellow rock that Tara just threw does not have an easy place to go if Skrlik wants to hit it.
Kayla recognizing that as well. So choosing to deal with the corner guard, I think. Or she's trying to dig out the yellow one.
Saw her indicate hack. Maybe they're going to board now. It looks like they can't quite figure out if they'd rather go after the one in the rings behind the corner guard or just straight up peel the corner guard.
Exactly. It looked to me like they were playing the peel, and then she touched. I saw the same thing you did. Down weight. That's not what you're usually throwing when you're trying to peel a corner, so they're going to come down and have a chat. Jerry Lynn Ramsey.
And again, similar to what I mentioned in the third end with Tara coming down to look even on second stones, this is an important shot. It's a big moment in the end. We're really, again, focusing on what was our goal when we came into the end. Let's call a shot that reflects that in some way, shape, or form.
Well, it feels like after scoring 3, the last thing you want to do is let a lot of opponent stones accumulate.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to get to coach a couple different junior teams out of my curling club and some other ones in the area. And one of the things that I harp on every single day is anytime you score a big end, don't give up a big end. I've seen it happen so many times. I'm curious to know what the stats are, but to me it feels like if you score a 3 or a 4, your odds of giving up a 3 or 4 in the next end are astronomically higher.
For sure, it's something we see too often, and that one blows by the yellow. My. Kind of wound up with her own walk there. So, this end could go any which way, really. But I'm with you, Connor. My old curling coach had a very similar expression. He says, after you score a 3, I want to see a frickin' desert. I don't want to see anything on the ice.
That's a good way to put it. I might steal that and use that in my own coaching.
Good advice. 3s are hard to come by. The last thing you want to do is give an easy do straight back or even worse. Even if you score a 3, keep it clean, let your opponent blank. That's still one end off the scoreboard. But there are many rocks in play. And lots of possibilities here with 9 rocks to come.
Yeah, we saw Tab and Becca talk about a couple different options. They looked at hitting this on the nose and keeping their shot rock on top of the red. It looks like we finally settled on hitting and rolling almost to that back 4-foot red and potentially, if not making the double on these 2 reds, just moving them out of the 8-foot.
I think that is the challenge. I think you're exactly right, Connor. How do you squirt that front stone on an angle and somehow push it out of the 8-foot? Can be pretty much on the nose, though. Sits straight in front of it. Not terrible.
Yeah, I've had to go to plan B, but I think they did it early enough that they got it on a good enough angle that if they pop that yellow one, the red's going straight by without touching that back T line rock.
Exactly. We talked about rocks accumulating, and now Kayla Skrlik. You can see what's going on. The opponent's got the hammer, and she's got 3 inside the 8-foot. So even though we're lying 2, I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
I am right there with you, and I think it harks back to a couple of shots ago when they had the decision to potentially peel the corner guard. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but if you're in the same situation and there's no corner guard there, you're feeling a heck of a lot more comfortable than you do right now.
Totally. So a long discussion between Ramsey and Skrlik. It's an important moment. Really important game for this Skrlik team, sitting at 2-1. A win wouldn't necessarily, well, we'll have to see how the standings fall out. But 3-1, you'd feel pretty good about making the quarters. And a lot on the line here. The team of Kayla Skrlik. Tabitha Peterson trying to stay alive here, coming into this game 0-2. Desperately needs a victory. Sweeping for curl, but it's going to catch it really thin. Actually pushes the red out of the 8-foot. Uh-oh. Now all of a sudden, 3 or 4 is in the wind.
Yeah, that really just unlucky. I don't know what the time was on there, but it just kind of hung out there on him. And again, unlucky to push that red out and sit and fifth count now.
Great look on the right-hand side of our screen from the delivery end. See those yellow stones on the left-hand side of the picture from the hack end. Kind of clustered in or near that corner guard. Chance here for Corey to remove that red stone and leave her team lying 4. Right on the nose. I wouldn't mind a little bit of an outside roll, but that's kind of nitpicking. Nice shot.
Yeah, pretty good. I think if you're Skrlik here, you're maybe looking to nose this, build up some distance above the P line, and then on the next one, if Tab noses as well, then you can play the double, or at the very least a hit and roll. If you can get something tucked behind that top 8 yellow, anywhere kind of close to those yellow ones, I think you're going to breathe a heck of a lot easier.
I agree, Connor. The angles on the roll now aren't great. Team Skrlik. Right now, eliminating and bringing the house a little bit closer together is the order of the day. Jerrilyn Ramsey. Well, she is across nose. This is going to go towards the pile. Is it going to go through the gate, though? Yes, it does. Field goal right between the 2 yellows. And that was the risk, really, of kind of going for the big roll on that shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I kind of like the nose there, and you saw it a little bit there. We talked about earlier that with that big finish late being very weight sensitive, that looked like one of those where maybe the weight was only a half a second down, but it just cuts a lot sooner than they were maybe expecting, and that's kind of when you get that overroll.
So things shaping up very nicely now then for Tab Peterson after dropping that 3. Chance to get that all back here if they can close this end out.
Yeah, you see him talking about this a lot. You see Tab really thinking this through. This is almost one of those situations where you have so many rocks in scoring position, you don't know where to put another one to not make it any worse.
Exactly. Always the question you ask yourself first, first do no harm, right? If I didn't throw anything, would it be better? Now, of course not, but in this case, but you certainly don't want to set up a shot for your opponent when you're sitting in such a good position as you are right now.
Definitely, and I think the point that the sweepers should be talking about, and I'm sure they are, is, hey, make sure this rock is behind the tee line. Even if it's a little further back than we want, let's make sure we get it there.
And that one, of course, everybody knowing that the good miss is deep, and unfortunately, too deep. So that's not particularly useful for Team Peterson, and chance now for Kayla Skrlik to maybe get out of jail here. Kill a couple anyways.
Agreed. I'd be curious to know if that back 8 yellow is out counting that side 8-foot red rock. I can't tell super well from the camera view here. They've looked at it a couple times, and I haven't seen any indication one way or the other.
Yeah, if I had to bet just based on the overhead, it looks like yellow's lying 3 to me, but it is close, and it is very important for them to know. It does dictate their shot choice an awful lot. Big weight being thrown here by Kayla Skrlik, trying to hammer it into the pile, rattle them around a bit. There's 1 and there's 2. And that's a very good shot. Now there is no doubt. Yellow is lying 1. Pretty well protected. Put that stone in the front of the 8-foot, representing a potential threat for Tab Peterson. So, choice here. You just split the rings and go edge 4-foot and line them up and play for a conventional 2, or do you get a little bit frisky and maybe duck around the red, try to score a 3?
Yeah, that was a very nice shot by Kayla Skrlik there to get herself out of some trouble. And I think you see Tab doing the smart thing here. Your goal at the end when you came in was, hey, just get 2 back. We don't need to get 3. We don't need to score 4. And so I think going to this open side here, as long as you can keep it somewhat close to the 4-foot, is going to give you that goal all day long.
I completely agree. You must get the tee line. But you got a bit of tolerance, a foot or 2 past it. Kayla would be pretty brave to try and follow it down and freeze, because you risk giving up 3 that way.
For sure. I think the big point here is making sure that where this rock ends up, obviously you want it behind the tee line, is going to out-count anything that Kayla Skrlik could have if she ran that red back into the other yellow.
That would dictate you need a piece of the 4, really. Really working this one hard. Saw Tab come up light on a draw earlier in the game, and this one, sweeper's dragging it just to the tee line, but is there a crosshouse double here now for Kayla Skrlik?
Looks like it to me. You got to throw some weight at it, but even if you just roll, again, if you just roll behind that red rock, it makes Tab's shot for 2 a bunch harder. So.
We saw in the previous shot that Kayla's certainly capable of throwing it hard. Doesn't need to throw a missile, but he is going to have to get that roll. Probably have to hit about, just over half. Thick half, 2/3. So she's going to have to throw, maybe not peel weight, but pretty close to it.
Yeah, it's pretty flat. You got to throw it, like you said, you got to throw this pretty dang hard. Priority number 1, obviously, is make sure the yellow goes out of the rings. Love the roll, you'd love to double, but make sure the 1 yellow goes, and that's first priority on this shot.
Ashton Skrlik now switching sides on the sweep. It's only going to get to nose, so it will be an open hit now for Tab Peterson to answer a 3 with a 2 straight back.
And I think that if you're Tab here, you're going to feel very confident after this end. Obviously, you were looking good for a 3 or a 4 early, but like I said earlier, the goal of the end is get your 2 back, and you played a really solid end, made a lot of really good curling shots, and you got rewarded with a nice, easy shot for 2.
Final stone of end number 4 on its way for Tab Peterson. Just needs to remove the stone and sit full 8. pretty happy with it. Straight to the nose. So Tab Peterson puts a 2 on the board, and they are right back in this game. As we reach the halfway point here in Swift Current. It's Team Skrlik 4, Team Peterson 3.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough?
Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Welcome back to Swift Current. The Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Very interesting game shaping up now between Kayla Skrlik and Tab Peterson. It's been shaping up interestingly already with the center guard up and stone biting front button behind it. Hans Fralib along with Connor Kaufman and Connor Tab Peterson right back in this game with that deuce in the fourth.
Yeah, no, that was a really well played fourth end. Exactly what we talked about and what I imagine they talked about in their team meeting of, hey, let's go make 8 shots. Let's go get our 2 back. We're right back in the game. And they executed exactly how you'd want to see that end executed. So really well done by Team Peter.
Becca Hamilton stacking the center guards. So this game well and truly on here in the fifth.
Yeah, I didn't see. Did they call for the double centers there, or did that one maybe take a weird track and end up light?
Not sure. Looked to me like they were trying to stack them there, but I confess I didn't see the call either. So all we have is the result. 2 stones long and in front, and 1 red stone in the rings. And Ashman Skrlik looks like she wants to whip another one in there. You don't love playing around center guards when you've got hammer, but sometimes you just take what you got, and that is a beauty. Corner freezes the shooter. 2 buried.
That is a beauty. That's one of those opportunities where, like we talked about in, I believe, the third end, where going back quad could be an avenue that Skrlik looks into there. Makes Tab make a decision and keeps your scoring area a little bit wider than just the 4-foot.
Good point and good thought, Connor. Because really this is taking us into mixed doubles territory. Bombing everything around the button area really does close up that scoring area. But if you're Kayla Skrlik, you're saying to yourself, all right, well, you got the brick. Those two just hang around the button area for the whole in and we walk off with a pair. I'm pretty happy with that. Speaking of mixed doubles, Tab Peterson has an incredible amount of mixed doubles experience, as does Corey. So this team very, very comfortable with rocks in play and little freezes and little taps.
Yes, you will not see them shy away from, like you said, the freezes and the taps and the forefoot. They're not afraid to junk it up a little bit if they need to.
So that stone just delivered by Tara Peterson is in a very annoying place for Kayla Skrlik. Third shot, but it's really dictating everything just in front of the forefoot there.
With this rock here, it really does become decision time of how committed are we to just putting rocks on the forefoot and telling Peterson, hey, come after us, right?
That's true. It's like the old bad joke, about being involved versus being committed, Bacon and egg breakfast. The chicken's involved, but the pig's committed. And it's a big call, really, to kind of go hard for the forefoot now in this scenario, though, when you've got center guards up in front. So if you're going to go, you're going big and you're taking some risk.
And you saw Ashton call for Kayla to come out and sweep a little bit.
Well, pretty decent result. Welded it right in the pocket. Good look there as we get closer up from our overhead shot. 3 red rocks clustered in and around that button area. And on the left-hand side of our picture, we can see those center guards are overlapped. So no direct run back available for Tab Peterson. She can, however, go around and promote her own stone and rattle these reds around a little bit.
Exactly, just like you were talking about with being committed to the forefoot. Tab does have, it's not easy, but she's got this tap on the yellow. She has enough of that red one that was just thrown to maybe tap or throw even board control weight at it and spill those reds out of the forefoot.
Well, it needs contact first of all, but this one is going to blow by everything. And that is a miss from Tara Peterson. And now Kayla Skrlik saying, well, do we just take it away and block it up? Still in the middle phase of the end, where it's not like you can easily guard your way out of the situation, but pretty tempting to play it right now in this situation, I'd have to say.
Yeah, it's always a little bit scary to be throwing the center guards with hammer, especially on seconds rocks.
Exactly.
However, like you said, we're sitting 3 right now. Team Peterson doesn't have any great avenues in.
Yep, it's conventional wisdom until it's not conventional anymore, and this is certainly not a conventional situation. Carolyn Ramsey, this one's going to slide a little deeper than I think she wanted. Going to cozy its way into the 8-foot and nudge the Peterson stone a little bit further forward. Well, this is getting very interesting now, Connor. Big shot choice coming up now for Tab. And Corey's going to come down to have a chat about it.
You said it. And talking about a mixed doubles end and having some mixed doubles experience, that's coming into play here with 4 rocks touching the forefoot. I wonder if Corey can see enough of that tight yellow guard to actually run it back into the red that's top 8 foot, go red, yellow, and at the very least move 1 or 2 of those reds in the 4 foot off of the 4 foot a little bit.
Well, Tab certainly has to do something to get at those 3 stones in the 4 foot. Otherwise, Kayla can just guard the end out. Walk off with maybe a 4-point lead. So you need to pull the trigger on something now to give you some access into those stones in the scoring area. Yellow red across the top would be fantastic if she can make it, but she's going to have to shave the front stone to make that shot. Here it comes. Well, they're by the front stone. How much contact have they got? There's yellow, there's red, moves yellow, rattles them around, changes the angles a little bit. So she did get the rocks in motion, but didn't push any of them out of the 4 foot. Does at least open a path now on the intern side. Kayla Skrlik says, I see that path too. I want to take it away.
Yeah, I think it's tough to do a heck of a lot better than that if you're Corey. She did not miss that front guard by a whole lot and still didn't quite get enough contact on that red rock top 8 foot.
It's tough when you're going across the top and you're having to get 3 stones in motion that are all clustered together. You just can't really throw it hard enough to get everything in motion. But a very nice shot by Corey. With a terrific opportunity now for Team Skrlik.
Yeah, and like you said, at least it gives Team Peterson a little bit of access. It's not great, not the prettiest situation ever, but at least they have something to look forward to.
And the other thing that introduces as well is now at least the center guard you can run straight back if you needed to.
I'm almost thinking if you're Tab here, you could play a similar shot to the one you just called. Go with that tight red over the top of the red in the 8 foot. It's going to go back into your yellow. I'm not sure exactly where the yellow spills, but it looks like it kind of just going to wiggle its way in there and potentially sit, if you throw it hard enough, potentially sit shot or maybe just second.
Trying to blast that yellow rock forward about 3 inches at a time. Now the whole team's going to come up and have a look. The yellow center guard run back is there, but it's a long one. You'd really have to flush the long guard squarely on nose to get something positive happening with that shot option.
And the thing that I always think about, again, with coaching juniors, but the thing that I always think about is, well, what happens if you miss?
Exactly.
I really do like this red rock that Skrlik just threw as the rock you're running in. I think you got a couple options. You could go direct into the red top 8. You could go over the top of that one. If you go skinny, you could maybe get into your own yellow, which might jam into that red that's top button and stick there, which would put you in a pretty good spot.
Well, certainly red is in closer proximity. So easier to read the line at least than trying that long run on the yellow center guard. I agree, Connor. You got a few things that can happen. That yellow is wedged in there, so as long as you get things moving and get rocks moving, maybe something good's going to happen. Well, it does in fact pop one off the back of the 4 foot, and so situation improved for Team Peterson.
Definitely.
Got Kayla Skrlik down to 1. That's couldn't get much more out of that shot than they got.
No, I agree. I think that's about as good as you were going to do. And anytime you go from the opponent sitting 3 to the opponent sitting 1, usually you're going to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Take the small wins when you get them, and that certainly was more than a small win. It was a very nice shot.
The other piece to that as well is that yellow rock that's Team Peterson has there, top 4 foot, is not easy for Skrlik to do anything with.
Exactly, and that's because of this center guard that she's saying we got to do something with it. Open up a path to that yellow one so we can deal with it, but you're right. The center guard where it is right now, the problem.
A little curious about this choice of Kern. My gut is a little worried that you could go over the top of that yellow one with a tight guard and potentially shoot it back into those rocks in the forefoot.
Yeah, the risks of jams all over the place here. Flips yellow, pushes it back in front of the Peterson rock. So clear one center guard and chip another one in front of it. Much closer, of course, but still offering protection for Tab Peterson. And now you can see the brush is saying, if we just pop that red, we're going to be line 1-3. We do have some other options. It's not the craziest thing to think about hitting that front red stone, and as long as you can get across nose, leave it in a pocket.
Obviously, the shot call that they decide on here is going to depend on what their goal was going into the end. Are they playing hard for a steal? Are they okay with a force? That's going to dictate a lot of this. Something that I'm seeing that I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on is, would you ever come in off of that red that's top 8, go shooter into your own yellow, and potentially sit shot third afterwards?
I think that's absolutely an option. And if you're thinking about getting one into the pocket, you could also just play straight, come around, nudge the yellow forward, get in the pocket. So there's a few options here. Right now, that one yellow rock in the rings is still a bit lonely. So you want to give it some company, either remove a red or get another yellow one in there, ideally both. Judging by their brush position, it's not going to be thrown with any weight. So it might just be just a straight freeze into the pocket here, and maybe they're thinking, okay, try and get your two, Kayla.
Yeah, it looked to me with the brush, they might be throwing something down, like hack, trying to pop that back red one out a little and potentially sit shot and third at the end of this.
Yep, this is definitely hack weight plus. Looking to get across nose. I don't think they're going to do that, but they are going to get some contact. So they are going to leave themselves lying 1-3. Not a terrible result. Now, if you're Kayla Skrlik, how do you score multiple from here?
Yeah, it's not easy. That was a very well executed shot there by Tab. Goes back a little bit to what we were talking about at the beginning of this end with cutting your scoring area down to the forefoot so early. It's great when you're sitting 3, but if a couple good shots by Team Peterson, maybe an unlucky miss here or there, and you go from looking at, hey, we're sitting 3 to, oh, geez, I don't know how we're going to score a deuce anymore.
Exactly. Still 2 stones to come. So it doesn't all have to happen on this shot, but talking about going around the horn there, I can't see how. You can only see a tiny portion inside the front guard.
I wonder if she could throw like back line, get about half of that yellow one they were just talking about, and roll almost half open on the other side of this center guard, push your red rock to the back 8 foot and this yellow rock to the side 12.
Yep, I think that's absolutely the shot. I was thinking exactly the same thing. You're reading my mind, Connor. Hit about a quarter of that yellow going across with about back line. Get some separation. Push the yellow Kind of be hard to see it pushed out of the 8, but maybe a chance. What you do know is you need to kind of get a little bit of separation. Now Kayla's lining up the run on the center. After all that discussion, maybe it's just going to be a blast here on the front stone.
And I see what they're seeing here. They don't love the center guard. They also don't love the 3 rocks in the top of the house. I would hesitate to throw that yellow run in, just because if you jam it on that top yellow and it squirts over to the center line, you could be leaving Team Peterson sitting 2 on the center line.
Yeah. For me, it's always a last resort when you're running in your opponent's shot. Precisely because bad things can happen when you get your opponent's stone moving. But boy, oh boy, this one's got a vapor trail behind it. Flips across and just across the top, flirting with disaster there. Opens it up. So now the calculations shift now for Team Peterson. You could just go yellow-red, pop it out. Leave yourself line 3 and say, okay, happy with the force, but I want to take a long look at this. Consider all your options because it is a very important shot. If they could come up with a steal here, it'd be huge.
Something they didn't look at, and I don't know if I necessarily... Well, what did they call? I don't think they're playing a hit. Are they throwing the guard?
Well, I was asking myself the same question. You know, when the brush went down, I'm thinking, is that ice for a guard? It might be. Or is that ice to play bump yellow-red? Could be either. We're going to find out in a sec.
Because I was going to say that a guard, if you're sitting shot here, has got to be precise, but if you make it...
Oh, yeah.
Skrlik doesn't have a good way of getting that yellow out, especially a good way of getting it out and sitting 2.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. You know, if the calculus is switching to steel, set the perfect guard and say, come and get it. And she just kind of weld her nose on her own. It's going to sit up short. It will be a guard. That's a pretty good shot. And there's the smallest of paths on the intern side, but I don't know if she can get through the hole with enough momentum to punch the yellow and get it through the 4-foot. There's the yellow-red tap for a single point.
To your point with throwing this intern, I think the one nice thing that Skrlik has going for her here is if you're a little wide trying to play that bump or it just sails on you a little bit, you can play that yellow-red tap and probably guarantee a 1 unless you throw it really, really heavy.
So she went down to the delivery end just to kind of see what it looked like from the hack. On the left-hand side of our picture, you get a rough idea of what she would be looking like from the hack. That is not exactly a yawning path to the shot rock. But as you said, Connor, if she wanted to give it a try, feathers the outside yellow, she probably scores a single anyways. Not a ton of risk in trying it, but really hard to see 2 here.
And I think, again, this goes back to the scoreboard. I know I've talked about goals a lot already, but this goes back to, hey, we're up 1. Let's just guarantee our 1. We'll play the yellow-red tap. We're up 2 in the 6th end. That's Every
days.
team I've ever been a part of is happy with that situation.
Sweeping for Curl now. Not going to get through the port, but is going to get contact on that yellow to move the red. And it does hang around the back of the button for that single point. So when all the smoke clears, the situation that Connor was just describing comes to pass. Team Skrlik are 2 up in Swift Current.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we... Swift Current is great because...
Welcome back to Swift Current. We're at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. And we are heading for a showdown here. Kayla Skrlik, Tabitha Peterson. Team Skrlik with a 2-point edge, playing in number 6. Tabitha Peterson with the hammer in the even ends. Hans Raunov along with Connor Kaufman. Critical end coming up for Tab here with the hammer and 6 call. Connor, how do you think she's going to play it?
I imagine she's going to just rinse and repeat what she did 2 ends ago in the 4th. She had a great end set up. She was looking at a 3 or a 4 for a really long time and ended up with a really easy 2. So we saw her throw the corner guard obviously here. I imagine we're going to see her go right around it, set it up the exact same way.
2 stones highish in the rings overlap for Kayla Skrlik, and now Becca Hamilton will indeed be asked to tuck one around that corner guard that she set on her first stone. Talked about Corey's and Tab's mixed doubles experience. Well, don't sleep on Becca Hamilton either. Olympian in mixed doubles with brother Matt. And that one hides nearly perfectly. This end is shaping up very early on, very, very interestingly. Kayla would like her stones in the rings about a foot forward of where they actually are.
We spend so much time talking about rock position, especially early on in ends with leads and seconds. and it can get really underrated sometimes. But one of the nice parts about where Becca's second rock ends up, the tab is to play that double on those reds that are at the front of the house. At some point in this end, that red rock is going under the yellow, as opposed to her having to worry about, oh, well, if we play it, it's going right into our own.
Very good point. Keeping a path clear when you're trying to hit and roll or make clearing shots. So important. Little rock repositioning there. Just changing the angles of those stones. Triangle formation there in the front rings.
Like this ball here from the tab. You don't have a great roll into your corner right now, but you don't need to go over there right away. You already have one buried. So hitting this, rolling into the side, even if you don't make the double, you just roll into the side of the red, makes Skrlik's life really tough.
Makes contact. Keeps her own stone sitting in front of the Skrlik rock in the forefoot. Yeah, I think it's really underrated. One of them, a former curling coach that we used to work with a lot, he used to say, if you're trying to generate some offense, you can't think of anything better to do. Just throw your stone in front of the opponent's stone. See what happens. Doesn't really matter where the opponent's stone is. And it is amazing what that does to generating offense.
That is a good way to explain that. I've never heard it quite that way, but you know, I've seen it time and time again that if you just get something in front, you're right, it often leads you to something good later on in the end.
The red stone's now creeping a little bit further away from the scoring zone. Look at the overhead, yellow second shot now. Yeah, Connor, I used to watch games on fast forward because once we got that bit of coaching input, I just used to kind of watch games at about 5 times pace and just watch zip, 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 zip as the rocks go down. And then when you see a rock sitting in front of another rock, how often it jams, or how often it half jams, or how often it creates a pocket. And after a while, you begin to appreciate what happens when you just throw something in front of something else. Never a straightforward matter dealing with it.
Too true. I can tell you I have watched many games on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's watching the YouTube stream we got running right now. And I spend a lot of time watching games on 2 times speed and just getting through them and watching rocks where they end up, how they make decisions, and you learn a lot that way.
Sure do. Hit and roll attempt rolls out of the rings, but still one very well under cover for Tab Peterson. Kayla Skrlik says we need to do something with this corner guard. Then Ramsey lining it up.
Potentially dangerous run back call here. I see the idea, and I think it's really good if you make it.
Yeah, if you ever stuffed it straight back, though, not so good, but that is very, very good. Picks it clean. And
yeah, you can't make it any better than that.
Yeah, quality. So all of a sudden, many fewer rocks in play. Tab Peterson does have the hammer, but not so much to hide behind anymore. There is that stone front of the rings. Rory Casey looking to take advantage of that. Really moving. Life and death to get it by. Are they by? just feather it. Winds up not quite corner frozen on the stone in the front 12 foot. And a great example there of how much late movement there is here in Swift Current. Really tough to hold it once they start to go.
Yeah, you said it. And like I said earlier, the players really appreciate when you get that late movement, just because it makes so many more shots accessible.
I'll never forget the first time I was playing in the 2005 Worlds, and it was the first time we were on ice conditions where it was about 5.5 feet of movement. It was like the Wizard of Oz, you know, when it goes from black and white to Technicolor. It felt exactly like that. It's a whole new world of shot possibilities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my first probably U18 nationals that I played at, I was still doing the patented, soft release, 1.5, 2 rotations.
Right.
And it works great when you're in the curling club. And then you show up on ice that's swinging 5.5 feet, and you can't take enough broom, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah. Why is it going 7 feet all of a sudden? Why am I losing my handle?
Yeah, you learn quick that doesn't fly when you're on tour and when you're at those national championships.
Much better shot here from Corey. Makes a good adjustment and hides nearly fully buried. I like that call. Ignoring the 2 stones in the 12 foot. Tab Peterson knows that getting forced here doesn't really do her any good. Chase the 2 reds. Kayla's probably just going to rip the guard, so use the guard.
You said it. For Team Peterson, obviously, down 2 in the 6th, it's go time. You really want to push hard, push that envelope to really try to get your deuce. So, you can get full buried and be shot. Those other reds are so far out of the middle of their house that you don't have to do anything with them yet.
Skip stones to come here in the 6th. Pat Peterson with the hammer, trying to get back on level terms. Kayla Skrlik throwing a run at the corner. No action on the shooter. It was a really long run to try and pick that one off because he was going to leave a guard regardless, I think, Connor.
Yeah, it was in that same spot that they made it about a shot ago. So I understand, the line, you might as well throw it. She got really close.
A chance now for Tab to get underneath and maybe leave a bit of a teaser. Christmas tree a corner around the center guard. And go edge to edge, yellow to yellow maybe.
Yeah, I think if you can be, like you said there, top 4, top 8, edge on edge, makes Skrlik really think about it. You don't want to really get full buried because there's a quite makeable short run there for Skrlik to sit shot. And then you're going to have a tough time getting it too.
Important shot here for Tab as far as a setup shot goes. Nitpicking, maybe overcurled a bit more than she was hoping for, but that is sitting front 4 foot. But Kayla Skrlik immediately says, okay, I've got full sight of that stone on the tee line. Hit and flop inside. This is when if he makes, really puts the heat on Tab, but if she misses, maybe sets up a pretty straightforward 2 for Tab. So a lot riding on this shot coming up from Kayla Skrlik. And my teammates used to say, toughest shot in curling is a hit and roll when you need it.
It's, yeah, I'm right there with you. The nice thing for Skrlik on this one, because tabbed, full buried, and doesn't have access to that yellow, is she has quite a bit of room to roll and be undercover and make tab have really not much of a chance at a deuce.
Needs to hang around the 4-foot, sweeping for curl now, but this is only going to get to nose. And there it is. This is the straightforward opportunity that Tab Peterson was hoping for. Chance to tie this game up. He has, just as Kayla did, lots of house to roll to as well. I'm not interested in any kind of roll at all. Should be thinking nose hit. And if she can close the deal, she could tie this game up after 6. It's been a very entertaining game, Connor, back and forth. Lots of rocks in play. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been really nice, you know, a little bit maybe unlucky in the first 2 ends going both ways, but ever since then, it's like you said, it's been a lot of rocks in play, a lot of really good shot making as well. That's what you always love from watching this kind of level of curling, is they just make a ton of shots, and it's so much more fun to watch that way.
And no problem there for Tab Peterson. Nose hit is made, and it is a deuce on the board. Tab Peterson ties it up. We are heading to the finish line, and this one is anybody's game. Peterson 5, Skrlik 5 from Swift Current.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back. Wherever in the world you are joining us, we are glad you're with us. We're live in Swift Current. Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. And it is all on in our feature game. Tab Peterson, Kayla Skrlik, deadlocked at 5. Huge and important 2-point end for Tab Peterson there in 6, Connor. And that's setting up what should be a really mouth-watering run to the wire here.
Yeah, this game is definitely going to go 8 ends, barring something crazy happening here. And it's just been back and forth, a lot of really good curling. So excited to watch how this one's going to finish out.
Becca Hamilton setting the table for Tab Peterson. She's a lovely center guard. Nibbling that center line, so they're in the no-tick zone.
And
we were
again,
saying off air,
as we talked about 2 ends ago, this could be another one of those situations where if you wanted to throw that back quad rock, it's kind of a deep rock in the rings that, again, keeps your scoring area expanded, especially with a really nice first one that stayed top 8 and didn't get too deep into the 4-foot. There's not a great freeze right now for Tab.
That's a very good point, Connor. And it's not what happened a few ends ago when those stones were clustered behind center guards. Kayla again bringing that play into the middle. And we were talking off air between ends about how much I love these kinds of situations where one team is trying to force and the other team with the hammer is trying to pair. Center guards are up. Team with the hammer is saying, okay, well, we're going to have to attack around the center. And it's a recipe for fireworks.
Yeah, like you were saying, it is guaranteed to have rocks in play.
Interesting in the brave call here from Tab Peterson. Saying to Tara, I like the way those stones are staggered. I'm not going to go chasing them. We're going to go all in. If we can wedge one in there ourselves, overlaps aplenty in front of it. Are they going to get it by, though? Actually short. Not a bad spot to leave, but a bit of an opportunity lost. I like the thought from Tab to really have a go there just because of those overlaps, Connor.
Exactly. There's no good runs. You know that on the next rock, if you make that, Skrlik's likely to be peeling, but there's no easy double and triple peels that are set up there. So if you make that good, you're set up in a great spot to just guard out pretty much the rest of the end. And if you make them good, you got to make something pretty spectacular to have a chance.
Ashton Skrlik trying to remove that stone just delivered by Tara Peterson. Makes the nose hit. And Team Skrlik line 3, but they're all quite front ring. But they are absolutely accumulating now.
I think the main difference that you're seeing right now in this end, as opposed to 2 ends ago, is while there's a lot of red rocks under those center guards, the scoring area is still very big. There's no rocks that are in the 4-foot, which gives Skrlik a lot of opportunities to make a draw later. It makes it harder for Tab if they make just one really good one to have that be the rock that counts. So I think this is a really well played end so far.
Hit in a little inside roll for Tara. Repositions that redstone just fractionally further behind those center guards. There's a path to remove the yellow straight back, but not much room for error on the wide side. Just for the jam.
Exactly, and the hard part to that too is there's not a whole lot of room to miss on the tight side either. Because if you roll and handcuff yourself on that top 12 rock, you know that Tab on that next rock is putting one top button and making you come after it.
Jerry Lynn Ramsey trying to thread the needle here. Great sweep from Ashton Skrlik, but it did indeed clip that top red, killed the momentum, and it leaves the Yellowstone sitting, well, is it second shot? I don't think so. I think red might still be lying 2. It's very close.
Ironically enough, even though it wasn't what they called, and even though that yellow rock didn't get out of the rings, again, talking about keeping your scoring area open, it's open now, and you have paths on both the in-turn and the out-turn side if you're Kayla Skrlik. So, not what you called, but ended up being a really solid result for you.
No doubt about it. Shot rock is absolutely welded behind those overlap center guards, and Really good separation. Great, Connor. Good result and creates a lot of options for Kayla.
Talk about putting your opponent in a tough situation where they really have to make a good one. This is one of those from Corey Teesey here.
She'll be looking to hit about half. Trying to roll underneath the pile. Got the Hamilton now on the outside sweep, trying to promote some curl. Not too far away. Well, in the end, actually misread that a little bit and it pops into the open. Good throw there from Corey. But it is available. There's a port on that intern side for Kayla Skrlik. 3/4 of a rock from perfection on that roll. But if Jerry Lynn can thread the needle and get behind cover, then all of a sudden Kayla's got 2 and maybe 3 in her mind. Ooh, just by that corner, and you could see Jerry Lynn hopping. She knew it was going to be close, flirting with that one, but they just squeak it by.
Definitely had that feeling once or twice before watching a rock go down and being like, oh, get that guy.
You play this game long enough, you start to talk to curling stones and hope they listen. Good result. Great separation between those two stones now for Kayla Skrlik. One is perfectly behind cover, and the other one probably 3/4 buried.
It's really decision time here for Team Peterson. Are you going to try to go after one of those red ones and give up or go hard for a force and try to get the hammer down one? Or are you saying, no, we want to get that steal? That's what our goal was coming in. And I think with where you see the broom here, they're going under. They're saying, hey, we want to go after it.
Well, to use an overused cliche, go big or go home, and it's definitely time to go big here with Tab Peterson. Taking on some risk. Kayla Skrlik has got the hammer here in 7, lying 2, but the way those center guards and the front stones are lined up, Corey Teesey gonna have a go at wrapping it around. This one, though, is over curling and coming up light, so big trouble now for Team Peterson and a huge opportunity for Kayla Skrlik. We thought at the beginning of this end, we were speculating about the arm wrestle between one team trying to force or steal and the other team going for multiples. And after that unfortunate miss from Corey, Kayla now, it almost happened too early. She would love this to be her first stone.
Yeah, they've looked at a couple different things here. I think what I kind of liked is what they were talking about first. They were talking about just tapping that red corner guard in, even if it's not to the forefoot, even if it's not undercover. If you nose tap that, or even if you nose tap and flop in a little bit, just end up sitting 3. Don't give Peterson a double, and then your rock's in an even better spot to run in if Peterson ever does get something in the rings.
Yeah, I like that thought for sure. Third shot is what you want. What you do not want is to give Tab Peterson an escape valve here. So if you're going to play straight draw, you better make sure you don't slide past the tee. If you're going to play tap, which I don't think they are judging by that brush position, but we'll just have to see as Kayla lets it go. What kind of weight he's going to throw here.
I think they talked a little bit about almost throwing tee line and kind of splitting the red just off the forefoot.
Oh boy. Not sure I'd be that keen trying to disturb the rock that is looking like the prize right now. Marilyn Ramsey looking from the side of the sheet on the angle. Does get that tap, promotes it forward. It does improve the situation, but, as she lift Tab, potential triple takeout if she pinballs.
Yeah, from what we see, it looks pretty close.
Get a better look at it here.
Oh.
You can really only see about half of the front stone, so triple might be difficult. Double certainly there across the top if she wanted to play that. Doesn't really help her a ton, though. She goes across the top and spills because then Kayla zips around again, and she's still looking at 2 or 3.
Overall, a really, really nice shot. Well-executed shot there by Jerry Lynn.
Left that front stone front 8 in a good place, half around. There is the run on the outside center guard.
I'm with you on that one, Hans. I think with kind of what you've said by the strategy you've decided to take in this end, it's, hey, we want to go steal. We really want to push the envelope there. And I think that corner center guard run is kind of your best chance at getting anything in there for potential points.
Yeah, and if you are committed to steal, you don't necessarily have to blast it. You could play hack weight tap, tougher to read, but just push the yellow into the pile and see if you can't settle it in there and amongst and leave some red in there for backing. And they are going to play that shot now.
The other thing I like about the shot is you have a couple different options. Obviously, you'd love to get it into the shot rock, go a little, and end up sitting shot. If it runs a little on you, you can play it into that red that Team Skrlik just threw. And even then, you'll be in a better position than you are currently.
About the only bad result for Tab here would be if it came across the nose or more. As long as she's on the brush side as we're looking at it, something good or better should happen for her. So we think shot A is the run into the shot rock. And as Connor said, she's a little bit full of that. She might get some action on that stone in the front 8 as well. Here it comes. Big, big shot. Left it early, but they needed to curl a little bit. Here it comes. It's close. Oh, lovely shot from Tab Peterson. Beauty. Rolls into the front of the 4-foot area. And in a very kind of awkward spot for Kayla Skrlik.
I was just about to say,
get at it directly.
I think that where they rolled was actually almost better than trying to not roll much, because if they don't roll, Skrlik probably got that short angle on the red. At least this one now is a little bit longer. There's a little bit more to worry about with running into that top 8 red rock.
Yep.
So a very well executed shot there from Team Peterson.
There was. Big shot when they needed it. But they are not out of the woods yet by any means. About a 6-foot angle run here coming up for Kayla Skrlik. Potentially leave herself lying 3. 2 stones to come. She's got the hammer here in 7. We are all tied up. Huge moment in the game here in these final stones of end number 7. Pivotal. And it's not too far away. Is it going to overcurl? No, stuffs it right into the Peterson stone. Skrlik lines 3. Lori Teesey says, if we can squeak through that port, 3/4 it, maybe we can get underneath. Problem with that, as you said, Connor, she rolls across the button. It's a really short angle run back for Kayla. So not only do you have to make the hit and roll, but you need to get the roll in a place where Kayla can't run something in easily.
And to make matters, more difficult is if you do hit this red in the spot where you want to make the roll, I think you're going red, red, yellow, and jamming, so you're not even going to kill a single red. They're still going to be sitting 3 minus your yellow that you have as the shooter.
Right, so even if you rolled a shot, you're going to be holding your breath on that last rock because there could be a shot at 4 facing you, coming right back. Well, we thought this end was going to give us some drama, and we have got that in spades. Tab Peterson facing 3. Looking for a finesse hit and roll. Trying to hold line. Now Corey audible, seeing that she wasn't going to get the inside roll, tried to make the double, but it jams. Leaves Kayla lying 1-3. And with a direct path to the stone just delivered by Tab Peterson.
You're going to find any silver lining here for Team Peterson. It is that red rock that's up there makes this a little difficult. It's hard to play the turn that you'd like to throw at this naturally. I think you see here, Skrlik's kind of recognizing, hey, 4 is great, but if we get 3, it's fine. Put it kind of close to the nose of the stone. We're just going to throw, firm, peel weight, take the curl out of it, and just make sure the yellow's gone.
Exactly. Think like you're peeling it out, but slam it on the nose. So a chance to ice the game here for Kayla Skrlik. After a back and forth end. She can get to nose. Stick handle that Yellowstone past all of the reds in the rings. May very well close the game out right here. Final shot of end number 7 on its way for Kayla Skrlik. And no mistake whatsoever, slams it squarely on the noggin, and that will be 4, and that may be lights out for Tab Peterson. We will just see if they're going to play the 8 or if they're going to say that's enough, and they are indeed saying that's enough. So congratulations to Kayla Skrlik, Geraldine Ramsey, and Ashton Skrlik playing 3-handed, throwing a 4 on the board here on the 7th. And Connor, a very, very entertaining game, but 7th end proving pivotal. Final thoughts?
Overall, it was just such a well-played game by both teams, right? It was exciting to watch. There was a lot of offense being played. I think really it just came down to Team Peterson just got a little bit unlucky positionally in that 7th end. Skrlik was able to keep the scoring area more open than they had in the 5th end, and I think that's kind of was the turning point for them.
So final score, Kayla Skrlik 9, Tab Peterson 5. Kayla Skrlik goes to 3-1 with the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Thanks a lot for joining us. More curling to come from Swift Current. Please join us again for the evening draws. But for now, that is all for us. From Swift Current, thank you for joining us.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.